Well, hello and welcome to episode 11 of the All Things Leeds podcast with myself, Ed McIntyre. Thank you for joining and listening as always. And for these podcasts, I'm joined by my good friend and Leeds United fan, Charles Foster. How are you, Charles?
I'm ill and I'm exhausted, but I'm still pleased about the result.
Yeah, good weekend after that result.
Excellent weekend.
Yeah, it was fantastic, wasn't it? We'll of course be looking back at that result, that incredible 4-0 victory for Leeds United over West Brom last Friday night at Elland Road. A goal from Pablo Hernandez after just 16 seconds kicked things off for the night for Leeds United. It was absolutely incredible. Then we will of course have a look at the under-23s as well. A good win for them this week. And also look at some other stories regarding Leeds United that have come out this past week before previewing the game. This Saturday is Leeds United take on Bristol City away at Ashton Gate. Stay with us. We were quite negative, really, on last week's podcast. I don't think any of us saw a Leeds United win against West Brom last week. I think that was because of that 1-0 loss away at QPR on that Tuesday night. Kind of sucked all the optimism right out of us. But Leeds United did go on to win last Friday, very comfortably as well. 4-0. It was just incredible, wasn't it? Incredible.
It was, although you said none of us expected it. I mean, obviously I didn't predict a 4-0, I predicted a draw. But I said to you before the game I didn't think we were going to lose. I did think we would get at least a point from the game, but I didn't expect us quite to hammer West Brom in the manner we did. But yeah, it was a bit unexpected. But then again, Leeds are a bit weird this season, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, and I would have taken a draw from this game, but a win and a 4-0 win just insane. Has it sunk in yet? It hasn't sunk in for me yet.
It's a massive result. I mean, if we can follow it up with another good result in about 10 or 11 days' time with Sheffield United, then really game on. We're looking good for automatics.
Yeah.
However, if we lose the next couple and then lose against Sheffield United, it looks like playoffs again, doesn't it? So it's very in the balance at the moment.
I mean, let's try to stay positive after.
I'm not being positive. I'm not being negative. I'm just laying out the facts, mate.
Yeah.
These are all the possibilities.
But yeah, it was quite unbelievable. And Pablo Hernandez kicking things off with after just 16 seconds on the clock. Brilliant strike from him, but it was a brilliant goal overall, wasn't it? You know, West Brom, they had kick off, launched the ball forward. Cooper won the header straight to Jack Harrison, who just ran down, found Pablo Hernandez in middle, and then poor defending from West Brom first of all, giving that much time and space for Pablo Hernandez in that area. But strike from edge of the D, straight into the top bins, top left hand corner. It was an unbelievable finish. Yeah,
it was. There was a lot of factors to that goal. It looked like quite a simple move, but if we'd have kicked off, we wouldn't have scored that goal. The reason we scored that goal is because they kicked off. They ran all their players forward into our half. Cooper immediately won that header, which set Harrison away. Yeah. And then it was 5-on-5. And then Harrison finds Hernandez on the edge of the box. I think it's Adebayo there, who they had playing at left back, who's actually a centre back. He was playing at left back. Yeah. Who's always a bit of an issue.
Yeah, and they had a left back on the bench as well. It was really weird.
And he stood 3 yards off Pablo Hernandez on the edge of the D, and then you're just asking for trouble doing that. And and then it was just a brilliant finish.
Yeah, it was a really good goal. I think 4th fastest ever goal for Leeds United.
Of all time. I think it's the 2nd fastest at Elland Road.
Let me go on to my photos on my phone, and let me put my phone on silent while I'm doing that, so we don't get any distractions. But yeah, I've got it all here. Let's have a look. So yes, 4th quickest goal. The quickest one was from Jermaine Wright, 10 seconds in 2004. Didn't put what game that was. Viduka, 11 seconds versus Charlton. Dakara, of all people, 12 seconds versus Ipswich. And then this one, 16 seconds against West Brom. Quite incredible.
Solomon Dakara, what a player.
Yeah, and that just kicked things off, really. We were really, really good throughout this game. West Brom never looked threatening at all. I was holding my breath, though, at the first few set pieces, but after we defended well on the first few set pieces, I was like, we're going to go on, and we're going to go on to win this, even at 1-0.
Casillas' positioning on direct free kicks worries me a little bit. He's always too far over for my liking. I've noticed that. If anyone manages to clear the wall, they're pretty likely to score. just thankfully Janssen got his head on it on Gale's effort. You know, and I think it was in the first 2 minutes they had a set piece on the edge of our box because Cooper fouled. Rodriguez he fouled, I think. It might have been, I think so, yeah. And then Janssen, it went over. And the set pieces were the only time they ever looked like scoring. They had a couple of corners where they won headers and things like that. Well, that's always the case because Leeds never win headers in corners because we're a short team and we're terrible at set pieces. But that's the only time I really felt in any remote danger. And then there was that weird long shot from Rodriguez.
From Rodriguez, yeah. It was about 30 yards out, I think. Good save.
Yeah, he was off his line with Casilla because I don't think he was expecting it, but good save nonetheless.
Casilla, really good game against West Brom. A clean sheet, of course. First ever clean sheet at Leeds United.
It's good to have it. It really wound me up. The Sky commentators were going, like, reading off his clean sheet record. He's got no clean sheets in 10 games, and they're going, that's not. I bet he'll be wanting to change that record. That's not very good. I bet he'll be blaming his defenders. And I was just sat there thinking, you've clearly not watched Leeds. Because
he will be blaming his defenders because the goals that we conceded, taking deflections, he's just been unlucky, really. The only long shots as well.
Yeah, the only one he's really been at fault for was the Norwich's third. Other than that, they've all been a bit unsavable.
Yeah, and if you don't have a good defensive one here, then you're not going to be able to keep stuff out. You're not going to be able to keep everything out. No goalkeeper can keep absolutely everything out. But see, a real good game. They won it, of course, a clean sheet. We just dominated from all around the park. Bamford, he then put us 2-0 up on 28 minutes. Well worked, this goal as well.
That was the best move of the game.
Yeah, Tyler Roberts. It was a 1-2 with Tyler Roberts. Tyler Roberts flicked it on. He was making the run, was Bamford, and he was in behind. It was a really, really well worked goal.
Yeah, I think it was Elland sent it over to Alioski, like in the Swansea game, in a similar type of ball he sent over. Alioski found Click, fired the ball into Roberts, who held it up nicely and give it a really nice flick on behind. And Bamford's timed his run really well to get past the centre backs.
Yeah, really good goal. Yeah, really good finish from Bamford as well. He went and he was under pressure. Under pressure from the defender. Goalkeeper came out as well, but as calm as you like, composed as you like, and he finished it into that bottom right corner.
He left it a long time to pull the trigger.
Yeah, but it's still a really nice, calm and composed finish now.
Yeah, agreed. Of course, he scored the goal, so everything's fine. But sometimes you do see with when people do take a long time to take the shot, they often miss. The longer you take to take a shot, the more likely you are to miss.
Yeah. And Bamford, he's going to kick on now. I mean, he's got another goal in this game. That's 6 goals in 7 starts. He's going to kick on from this, isn't he?
Yeah, his second one in the game was a little bit more fortunate. It was a great move off Tyler Roberts picking the ball up on about the halfway line. He skins Livermore and runs right to the edge of their box, lays off Bamford, who... Roberts actually puts the ball a bit behind Bamford. That's why, so the defenders catch up with him, but he holds him off, and then it's just a bit fortunate that it kind of deflects nicely under Sam Johnston, and then we're 3-0 up, and that's game over.
Shrugs off the defender, Bamford for the second one, and both kind of finishes were similar. He's under pressure, shrugs off the defender, and gets in. 2 really good finishes from Bamford, 2 goals for him, and he's just going to kick on, which is good as well. I think it'll do his confidence really good as well, because he past few games he's had a lot of chances. And he's missed, been getting quite a bit of stick from a few Leeds United fans. So, it'll undo wonders for his confidence, won't it? Yeah, it will.
I've said to you on plenty of occasions off camera and off audio podcast that Bamford's hold-up play is actually really good if you watch him. He is great at winning the ball in the air. He's great at holding it up and feeding Hernandez and feeding Click and Roberts. And he's just been missing that clinical edge, but... well, hopefully he'll kick on and get another couple at Ashton Gate. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I think the only problem with Bamford coming in is, the reason that he hasn't been doing, scoring, loads of goals straight away is because the players need to get used to him and the type of runs that he makes. He's a completely different striker to Kemar Roof, who makes completely different runs. Kemar Roof's more versatile, he cuts in and out, but Bamford he makes the more direct runs, the striker kind of runs, and the players need to get used to the type of runs that Bamford makes to feed balls into him.
Yeah, Roof's kind of lighter, more lightweight, it's the same thing, but more agile, and Roof's also faster than Bamford, but Bamford's got better hold-up play, stronger, taller, and he's always trying to find that a little bit like Roof, but Roof often drops a little bit deeper than Bamford does. Bamford's more of a number 9 than Roof is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure the players like Hernandez and Click will soon get used to him, Roberts. They'll all get used to him.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, West Brom didn't really look like scoring. Going back into the first half, though, I was thinking they could be down. They should be down to like 8 men. They were putting in some really bad challenges. The referee was letting a lot go this game.
Yeah, I've seen the Mason Holgate one back, the 240 challenge, and that's if you watch it if you watch a close angle, it's not that bad.
Yeah. The one that tipped me off though was I think it was Bamford running down pitch. He gets like an elbow to the face. Referee's literally right in front of it, and referee don't call a foul, but he stops the game because it's a head injury. That's one that baffled me a lot.
Yeah, that wasn't. I saw that one again, and that wasn't that serious. The one that really should have been sent off, Gareth Barry should have been sent off because he slammed Roberts in first half and got booked for it, and then he did it again in the second half.
Yeah. And
ref was going to book him, and then realised it was his second booking, and then decided not to give it.
Honestly, the referee was awful this game, and I was thinking, how are we 3 or 4-0 up when we've got a referee who is just as bad as all others?
Well,
really.
The one was the one thing in the game. Was when Click went down from that corner, and then West Brom was still attacking, and Click was still down, and the Leeds players were saying to the referee, "He's down injured, stop the game," or at least asking the West Brom players, "Just knock the ball out, and we'll sort this out." And the West Brom players were refusing to do it, which is they're within their right. It's not a head injury, but bit of gamesmanship there. But the referee should turn around and go. And eventually, when the ball didn't get tackled out of play, he had Hernandez shouting in his face. He had Alioski shouting in his face and Janssen shouting in his face. So really, he should have just turned around first thing.
Yeah, but I was at the Farsley game last night, and the referee there was better than the referee that we had for the West Brom game, in my opinion.
Doesn't surprise me. Championship referees are the worst in the world.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really get many good referees in the 7th division of English football at Farsley, but load of fun at Farsley last night. I was in control of the Tannoy. Really good fun.
Tannoy's a brand, mate. Remember that.
Yeah.
As Darren pointed out. Yeah. Also, Farsley will be in the 6th division of English football next season because they're going up.
Hopefully, we're still keeping pressure on Warrington, who are at the top of the table. Only first goes up, but
only first.
Yeah, only first. Then it's for playoffs. 4 teams in the playoffs. But we're beating all the teams who are in the playoffs currently. So I've got no doubt in my mind that we're going up this season. No doubt. We're either first or through the playoffs. We're going up.
All right, there. This isn't the Farsley Celtic podcast, mate. The listeners won't know what we're talking about here.
No. But as we mentioned, Patrick Bamford putting us 3-0 up on 63 minutes. That just kind of killed the game, really.
Dead. Yeah.
I tell you what, this game was going really slow. I mean, we were 2-0 up after 28 minutes, and I looked at the clock, only half an hour gone, and we're 2-0 up already against West Brom. And then we go 3-0 up on 63 minutes. I'm looking at it thinking, still 20 minutes to go here. We're 3-0 up.
Yeah, it was a lot of winding the clock down. I didn't actually expect Leeds to score the 4th. I wanted him to score the 4th because I wanted revenge for what happened at their place.
Yeah.
Hawthorns.
I mean, if it were 3-0, we still would have beaten them on aggregate. Away goals.
Away goals. It's not a Champions League time, mate.
But we're beating them 5-4 on aggregate over the season. A lot of Leeds fans care about that. But no, 4-0 and done a world good for the goal difference as well, because that's going to be a big thing this season, is the goal difference.
Yeah, it's very important because I mean, even with that 4-0 win, we're still I think 4 goals behind Norwich and 3 or 4 behind Sheffield United. So
I think we're 3 behind Sheffield United.
Yeah, so we really need to hammer somebody else as well. But yeah, I would like to mention the Shackleton's impact. He was on the pitch for 2 minutes. Got an assist. He tried to put 2 crosses in. He was quick. He was on it. He was agile. He was brilliant. He was making runs in behind. He was everything you want from a substitute when they come on.
Yeah, just to correct myself, we're 4 goals behind Sheffield United, and then 5 goals behind Norwich City.
Yeah, so we kind of have to hope either somebody beats them heavily or we beat somebody heavily.
Yeah, we've got a better goal difference than West Brom now. Surprise, surprise.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
But you mentioned Shackleton there, so going on to the 4th goal, just put the cherry on top of the icing, on top of the cake, didn't it? Great move from a throw in here. Bamford, nice back heel. Was Hernandez. Played it down to Click, and then played it down to Shackleton on the right hand side. Shackleton literally been on the pitch just a few minutes. I think Phil Hay gave him an 8 out of 10 in his ratings, just because he's been on the pitch like a minute, but he's got himself an assist. A really good assist as well. Nice ball across. Alioski. The Sky commentators, I've watched it back. Sky commentators saying, I've never seen a left back play this further forward. And Alioski is playing like Alioski was all over the place this game.
Alioski doesn't really play left back. He just plays left.
He just plays all over the place. Like
I saw him on the right wing at one point.
there was a clip. I saw a clip. It's like a minute long. And Alioski is going down the left, and then he loses a ball. He runs down to the right hand side to try and win it. And then they launch it up to the left back position. He goes up there. He doesn't win a challenge. Someone else wins the challenge, but he bombs forward and then wins us a corner. It was all over the place, Alioski, this game. And that goal, I'm really, really happy that he scored that goal because he was phenomenal this game as Alioski.
He must wind Calvin Phillips up so much because Phillips is going to have to cover him in defence, isn't he, whenever he goes forward.
Yeah. But Alioski just winds everyone up, doesn't he? He winds his teammates up because he's never in position. And then he winds the opposition up because he's literally everywhere.
Yeah, but every now and again when he's not in position, he ends up being in the perfect position for an attack. The ball just falls perfectly for him and he's just straight in.
Yeah, Alioski, I thought he had a really good game here. But Shackleton getting the assist, being on pitch, matter of minutes, he made an impact straight away, really, of course, getting that assist. Shackleton, is he a future starter for you? Is he going to start?
I reckon he'll be a future starter for the club. This season, I'm not too sure. I mean, I would like to see him play more minutes than just the closing out of the games that he does normally. I would like to see him give him 20 minutes at the end of a game, or half an hour at the end of a game, but if we're playing well and we're 4-0 up, you're not going to change a winning team, are you?
No, you're not. And going into the Bristol game at the weekend, we're going to touch onto that a little bit later on in the podcast. But, I mean, you don't change anything, do you? We're just beating West Brom 4-0.
No, one of my mates is a Bristol City fan, so we really need to win this one.
Bragging rights.
I'm just going to hold it over him.
But, yeah, 4-0 to Leeds United, full-time over West Brom. That put us top of the league. But thanks to Millwall for not even trying against Norwich.
Well, they did equalise at one point.
Yeah, but they did
just
end up
more than Bolton did a couple of weeks ago.
They did end up losing 3-1.
Bolton just rolled over for Norwich.
But they did end up losing 3-1 at home against Norwich. Norwich breaking up 3 points.
If you watch the game though, Millwall missed an absolute sitter at 2-1.
They always miss chances. I remember it was the Swansea Millwall game a few weeks ago, and watching my highlights, Millwall were. They were getting so many chances later on.
Swansea won 1-0, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They had a few chances themselves, but Millwall, yeah, they're just not clinical enough at Millwall. We still got to play them at home in a few weeks, so that'll be interesting. I think it's the first game back from the international break is Millwall at home.
We always play Millwall in March, and it's usually a pointless game because our season's nearly always over by that point.
No, well, last season we played them in January, didn't we? And we lost 4-3. We
were
2-0 down. We had 10 men. Lasoga, just an absolute beast. Scores the third to send us 3-2 up, and then big ones.
And then we concede 2 goals in 5 minutes at the end of the game.
Enough about that. But yeah, Norwich, they won 3-1. They go back to upper league. But after that, 0-0 draw, the Sheffield derby on Monday, which, by the way, that was awful, wasn't it?
I saw it in the pub because I thought I'm going to go down and I will never cheer Sheffield Wednesday on, but I did want Wednesday to win that game.
Yeah.
And Hutchinson missed an absolute sitter as well. He was about 8 yards out and he blasted it straight at Henderson.
Well, this was all. I mean, I'm going to have a rant here. Sheffield derby, really? The atmosphere was poor, didn't even sell out, and it wasn't an entertaining game. It was awful.
It was the third Sheffield derby in a row that's ended 0-0.
Yeah. But yeah, like, just listening to the atmosphere on TV, like half of the seats were empty. There was no atmosphere at all. Even Sheffield Wednesday, they had a drum and they couldn't generate a noise.
Drums wind me up so much. They just give me a headache whenever it's someone else's ground. The drums going on. It's annoying.
Yeah, but for me, that was all fun. Sheffield derby, it's not a big derby, is it? It's not a big derby. But yeah, after that, we are still in second in the table. 2 points clear in second as well. Is that us finishing second now? It's ours to lose, isn't it? Can you see us bottling it at this stage?
It's a proper yo-yo of emotions, isn't it? Up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah. Ask me after the Blades game.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you whether we're going up or not.
I mean,
next 3 games we get 9 points, then your answer's definitely going to be yes.
If you look at the next 3 games, if we get good results in those, beat Sheffield United, go into the international break. Remember the guy in Monk season? We beat Brighton 2-0 at the road, went to international break, and we came back and just.
Realistically, we need to be. If we want to finish in the top 2, we need to be beating Bristol City and Reading. Yeah. And then whatever result, if we get any kind of result against Sheffield United, then it's a good result.
Yeah, definitely.
Other than a loss. But for all you pedants out there.
Yeah, but it's properly in our own hands now. We can afford to drop at least 1 point if Sheffield United are going to drop a point at any stage, which I reckon they will, because they've got quite a hard running. You know, look at our running, really. We've got 11 games left, 5 of them are at home. I fancy our chances.
We've only got 2 of the top 6 left to play, and 1 of them we play next. And we play both of them in the next 3 games. So once they're out over, we don't have any more. Norwich have only got Middlesbrough left to play in the top 6.
Yeah.
And it's Middlesbrough away, so it's at Middlesbrough, I mean to say. So we really need Tony Pulis to do a proper boring, horrible 0-0 job on them. That'd be nice.
So second is ours to lose now, and I can see us finishing second now. I've got no doubt. Sheffield United are going to win every single game. We're playing really nice football. If we play like we did against West Brom, we're going up.
They'll turn up. They'll guarantee they'll turn up against us though. It's not like
well, everyone does.
It's not like the Sheffield derby where they'll just sit back and launch long balls. They'll guarantee they'll be in our faces. Bloody Billy Sharp! If he scores in this game, I'm going to be so annoyed.
Tell you what, Sheffield United perform like they did on Monday night. They're not. That was an awful performance.
If we both perform like we did in our last game, they'll get pasted. But they won't. They won't perform like that.
Yeah. But yeah. 4-0 for Leeds over West Brom. Moving on to the under-23s then. They beat Watford 3-0 away at Vicarage Road. Great experience for them, first of all, playing at Vicarage Road.
Yeah, well, it's nice to get... They won't get to play at Premier League grounds very often.
Yeah.
And especially... well, they might get to play at professional, development league grounds, but not the actual proper grounds. And Leeds haven't played at a Premier League ground in a while, so development players especially won't. But yeah, even though there's not that many people there because it is a development game, it's still nice to play in a big stadium, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I suspect that the under-23s like playing at Elland Road, even though there's not that many people there, purely because it's where the first team play.
Yeah.
It gives you a bit of a boost.
Yeah, definitely. When you're playing at these big stadiums, it gives you like, oh, this is great, and it kind of spurs you on as well to be better. Like, I want to be playing at these stadiums, but I want to be playing at these stadiums with a load of fans in the stands, really. But yeah, 3-0 win. Izzy Brown getting a score sheet again. Brilliant individual goal by Izzy Brown.
I've seen it. Yeah,
brilliant individual goal. Going past about 3 defenders and sticking it in. 11 games to go for the first team. Is Izzy Brown, is he going to feature and will he make an impact, do you think?
I think it's too late, if I'm being honest with
you. Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see him make an impact, but I don't think he's going to feature enough to make one, which is very sad because we need him, and we need it, but we need peak like Huddersfield, Brighton era Izzy Brown, not basically bouncing around on one leg Izzy Brown, which the one we've kind of got at the moment. But he looks a bit bored of the under-23s, which is understandable.
Yeah, I mean, he's done all he can for the under-23s. He's scoring pretty much every game. He's playing really well. There's nothing more that he can do in that under-23.
He launched a really good diagonal ball for the third goal as well.
No, he did. And I mean, there's literally nothing else they can do for the under-23s, is there?
No, not really. It's just... It's about... It might come off of Jack Harrison at some point, we'll see. He seems to prefer playing out left than in the middle.
He's been playing out left for the under-23s, really, hasn't he?
So yeah, he might replace Jack Harrison at some point.
But hopefully he does get a chance for the first team soon. I reckon, if it's the same as Izzy Brown from Huddersfield, he will make a big impact for the rest of the season, definitely.
Yep. Yeah, I think he will.
Yeah, and I remember when we played Huddersfield back in Championship a few years ago, Izzy Brown, I think he got man at match.
I hated him. I hated him when we played him against Rotherham and he was in the team. I hated him even more when we played against Huddersfield and he was in the team. He was just very good.
Yeah, he's a class player. Hopefully he is the same as Izzy Brown after this injury. But that 3-0 win, it put him 8 points clear at the top of their league in the north section. So great stuff there.
Yeah, well, I think they've got 4 games to play and they've pretty much won their league. They've got to obviously play that. They've got to do that weird playoff thing, don't they, with the Southern Development League as well.
Yes, it's weird. But yeah, going into some other news then, regarding the tussle on the touchline on the 69th minute during our game against Bolton at Elland Road the other week, the game where we won 2-1. We didn't get the chance to talk about this because we didn't mention the Bolton win on last week's podcast because
you were far too depressed to talk about it.
Yeah, I was after that 1-0 loss away at QPR. I didn't want to recap the Bolton game. But so yeah, first of all, what were your thoughts on all that pushing and shoving on touchline then?
To be honest, I like to see a bit of passion, but I've not really got any time for handbags fights on the touchline that don't ever develop into all. If you're going to start a fight, hit somebody. Frankly, just hit somebody. At least it'll be entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, watching players shouting each other's faces, and as funny as it was, chuck water in each other's faces.
Yeah, metallic click. Yeah.
And middle fingers and that. It's just a bit childish. If you're gonna square it to someone, hit them. Frankly, I'm not advocating violence. I'd rather not see it. But if we're gonna see it, a fight, I'd rather there be something interesting to see.
It's all sparked from as well. Alioski, of all people, he just scored. He just scored that fluke goal where it took a deflection. But yeah, he gets like elbowed in the back. He's on the floor, and then one of the Bolton players, they got to like pick him up by his arm. Didn't make anyone happy at all. And then Mateusz Klich, love how he goes over and tries to cool the situation down by
literally
by squirting water on one of the Bolton players, making it worse. And he knows that he's making it worse as well. But he's like, have some water, just cool down. He knows what he's doing.
And then I think it's Williams immediately tries to fight him properly, and then Janssen just flies in.
Yeah, it's funny, and yeah, it's like, I mean, it's the most entertaining thing that happened during that game, really.
I mean, it was nice and sunny. We won the game, so I was all right. Can't have scintillating football every week, mate. Unfortunately, we're not Man City.
Phil Parkinson as well, giving the old cheeky middle finger to Pontus Jansson.
Yeah,
that sly middle finger.
He's just one of them. He used to manage Bradford, didn't he? He's just one of them managers, one of them Brexit. We do research too. Frank Lampard kind of useless, tactically inept managers that just clog up the Football League.
No, Frank Lampard. Don't get me onto Frank Lampard and Derby. Oh, we do research too. Yeah, you're 4-0 down at half-time against Aston Villa the weekend. They're 1-0 down last night at home against Wigan.
And they celebrated.
Just scraped a 2-1.
They celebrated like they won the Champions League when they beat Wigan at home.
Oh, dear. But yeah, Leeds, they've been fined by the EFL with regards to not being able to control the players, which Leeds United managing director Angus Kinnear, he responded. So this is his words, and I quote. He said, "We have reluctantly accepted the charge of failing to control players and choose not to mitigate our responsibility and point out quite how difficult it is to control 6'4" of raging Swede in regards to Pontus Jansson." I mean, he's got a point.
Yeah, I mean, Jansson's control in his own temper is tenuous at the best of the times. I mean, whenever he gets a chance to kick off, though, he tends to take it with both hands. He's a bit like Berardi, just slightly taller.
He just loves it, doesn't he?
I'm surprised that Berardi didn't get involved, to be honest. I don't know if he was at the game or not.
You know, that's one of them things as well, isn't it? It's would you rather take on like 100 Berardi-sized Pontuses or one Pontus-sized Berardi? Go on, answer it.
I think I'd rather have one Pontus-sized Berardi.
Why?
I mean, 100. What was the other one? 100
Berardi-sized
Pontuses. I mean, Berardi's still about 5'8", so you're literally just fighting an army full of people slightly shorter than I am. Yeah. It'd be like fighting an army full of people your size. That's still, I mean, I'd rather just fight one bloke.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard to control Pontus Jansson, isn't it? No one can control Pontus Jansson. Not even Cal Bartley a few seasons ago when he was captain.
It just makes me laugh how Janssen was saying like a few weeks ago, "Oh yeah, I've calmed down this season. I've got my wife, I've got my baby. I'm a much more chill guy." And he kicks off whenever he gets the chance. He must be bottling up the anger with the missus at home and just bringing it into match days, just boiling over, just waiting for someone to give him an excuse.
Yeah. How he hasn't received a red card this season for acting violently. He's got a red card against Stoke, didn't he? But how he hasn't got a red card for
that wasn't a red card.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
It was literally a red card, but it shouldn't have been a red card.
No, it shouldn't have been a red card. But yeah, Pontus Jansson, it is hard to control. Angus Kinnear finding the funny in it, as he always does. He just don't give a crap, does he, about anything?
I think he's got to that point where he realises that the whole kind of conspiracy theorists at Leeds United, to call them something nice, they're not. Sometimes they take things a little bit too far, but they have got a little bit of a point because people just try to just screw us over whenever they get the chance.
I mean, I don't think we particularly did much wrong, really. I don't think any team did much wrong, to be fair. Phil Parkinson got sent off. And that
you're always going to get done for players scrapping, mate. Obviously not actual scrapping, but, you know.
No players got sent off, though, so I don't.
What made me laugh was the fact that Janssen was in everyone's face, Klich threw water at somebody, and the response of the referee was to book 2 Bolton players.
Book 2 ball players and send the manager
Yeah,
off to the stands.
Leeds didn't suffer any penalties whatsoever. Bielsa came out of his technical area and didn't get booked.
Yeah.
Although he did get booked against West Brom. I don't know if you saw that.
Did it?
Yeah, he got booked for complaining about the referee not attending to Click being injured.
Well, see what Bielsa did after that scuffle at touchline against Bolton. All he did, he came out of his technical area. All he did was go over to Alioski and just help him up. Just picked him up. Just gave him a helping hand and lifted him up.
Yeah, the old magic sponge treatment. I think he was just checking in on him to see if he was all right.
Yeah.
And, well, the funny thing was that Phil Parkinson went, both managers left the technical area, but I was the only one sent to the stands. That's because, Phil, you were trying to fight a massive Swedish giant in the midst of all the kicking off, and Bielsa was checking his player was all okay.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to get sent to the stands for doing that.
Bielsa, like the caring 63-year-old that he is, going over to check see if the kid Alioski is all right.
He's a nice bloke, is Bielsa.
Alioski's 27, but he doesn't seem like 27, does he? He seems like 10.
Yeah, he's a proper child at heart, is Alioski. He's a weird guy.
We love him though. Yeah, he is a weird guy. I don't think you see any players' Instagram stories.
No,
but he's like,
I try to avoid the Instagram stories.
Kemal Murphy's got his brace off, by the way.
I heard that. He was buzzing in the stands. I mean, he just saw his former club get absolutely slammed by his new club.
Yeah, Tyler Roberts again as well, playing against his former club.
Yeah, we've got a lot of ex-baggies in the team, don't we? And ex-Borough players.
Yeah, and West Brom, they also have a few ex-players of ours as well. Jake Livermore, Carl Bartley. Moving elsewhere then, over in Spain, news regarding Samu Saiz. Of course, he left Leeds to join League side Getafe on loan until the end of the season, and Getafe don't want him. They don't want him. They don't want to buy him at the end of the season, so Saiz will return to Leeds at the end of the season. But I still can't see him ever playing for Leeds ever again, can you?
It was a bit of a poor financial move on Leeds' behalf to send him out on loan. We should have sold him when Getafe showed interest, because now he's worth probably about $1.5 million less, and nobody's going to want to buy him because he's got the talent of a football player, but he doesn't like training. He doesn't train like one. He prefers going to nightclubs and drinking and eating takeaways and hanging around with his model missus, and that's what he likes doing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, is that easy? He has got something in him. He's a talented player. We've seen it plenty of times for Leeds. He has got something there. He's talented. If he gets his head down and just plays football like everyone else is, all other professionals do, then he's going to make it, but he just don't have the right attitude, does he?
I don't think it's anything to do with Leeds. He just can't be asked.
Yeah, like, I mean,
fundamentally, he just can't be bothered. He can't be bothered putting the effort in to become the player he could be.
Yeah.
Because he could be up there. He could be a low-level Premier League player if he put the effort in. But he's not willing to put the effort in.
No, I mean, he's been rejected by a lot of big clubs in Spain. When he was at Huesca in the Spanish second division, they sold him for only $3 million. The fact that he's gone to Getafe, he left Leeds, and we saw it here. he didn't want to be at Leeds. He don't want to be at Leeds.
He's 28. If he's not got good training, a good attitude to training by now, he's never going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And Saiz, when he left Leeds, we were like, all right, his head's not in it. And the fact that he's gone to Getafe, and Dave said the same thing. Oh, we don't want him. It just proves that Saiz, it's just an attitude thing more than anything. Yeah,
I think he's only played 3 times for Getafe all season, and that's just. I mean, they have been challenging for the Champions League spots, so I don't know if he's good enough to do that, but even still,
just really annoys me because he's in such a privileged position and he's got so much talent there. Just do it. Just get your head down and.
Plenty of talented people can't be bothered, mate.
Yeah.
Some of the most talented people in history have not been bothered.
Going on to Zaiz's attitude, we've seen it loads. Playing for Leeds, we waved that imaginary yellow card. That one against Newport, where he spat on one of the players, and
one of his finest moments. That was literally like the final nail in the coffin of that season was the sending off at Newport.
Kind of just killed our season, really, didn't it?
6 games suspended.
And then also we were talking about the other week with Saiz, when during pre-season I was talking to Phil Hay, back end of last year, 2018. Phil Hay was saying, when we were at Thorpe Arch for pre-season, everyone's doing laps around the pitch, and Saiz is just so far back for everyone else. Yeah, he's just never really got his head down, and not wanted to carry on, has he? But
he loves the takeaway and he loves a pint, and fair play to the lad, because I'd do the same. But
and if you want that money, you can afford all
although to be
pints
fair, if I was talented enough to play for Leeds United, I probably would put the effort in.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
sadly, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, Bielsa couldn't even.
So here I am, podcasting away.
Bielsa couldn't even make him get his head down and work hard. So yeah, I mean, good luck to Saiz. He's going to come back to Leeds at the end of the season, but I can't see him playing for Leeds.
He's not a good character having the dressing room either.
Yeah, definitely not. And he can't even speak English either. So
I mean, that's not. I don't really find much of an issue with that, because we've got a lot of Spanish-speaking players. Like Alioski speaks Spanish. Hernandez obviously speaks Spanish. I think Ponta speaks a little bit of Spanish. Bielsa's obviously mother tongue is Spanish.
Yeah. So I don't think he'll play for Leeds again. We'll probably sell him in the summer transfer window.
We'll probably get about 2 million for him or something like that.
I mean, his value's gone down now.
Oh yeah.
There was talking about us. It'll be 6 million at the end of the season. No wonder Getafe don't want to sign him for 6 million when they don't rate him. So
we should have included an obligation to buy him instead of an option.
Yeah, you need to buy him.
Yeah, if you have him on loan, you've got to buy him at the end of the season. Because now we're just getting a lower value player back.
Yeah, he's going to come back and he's going to go for less than what we paid for him. Paid 3 million for him. He'll be less than 3 million now. Definitely. But looking ahead then to this weekend's game, Leeds United taking on Bristol City away at Ashton Gate on Saturday afternoon. How do you see this one playing out?
As in, you want a score prediction or just in general?
No, just in general, how do you see this one playing out?
I see it being very similar to the game at Elland Road. I think it's going to be quite even 0-0 for a while, and I think we'll get the first goal. I think it'll probably be like a 1-0 or something. It won't be a West Brom performance, but it won't be a QPR performance. It'll be a slightly better than Bolton performance, I reckon.
Yeah. Bristol drew went all the way at Preston in their last game last Saturday. That meant that they haven't won in either of their last 3 championship games. I'll be getting them at the best time, really, because before these past 3 games, they've gone on that mental unbeaten run, that win run. So I'll be getting them at a really good time.
I've always said this, Bristol City are very, very streaky. They're either winning 8 in a row or they're losing 8 in a row. They don't really do, or I say losing, they're not winning 8 games in a row. Lee Johnson is always about to get sacked, and then he wins 8 games in a row.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't win for 8 games, and he's about to get sacked, and then he wins 8 games. It's kind of elastic band of a manager. Yeah. But yeah. We probably are catching him at the right time, but then again, we caught QPR at the right time, didn't we? So
yeah, exactly. I think before Bristol's 3-2 loss away at Norwich in the league the other week, their last loss in the Championship was against Leeds, where we beat them 2-0 at Elland Road.
Yeah, but we kind of squeezed past them, didn't we? They were kind of in the game.
It was really surprising, that game as well, because we were playing Will Huffer in goal and Halm in defence. 2 youngsters making their first, their senior appearances, championship appearances. And Bristol, they didn't really attack much at all. It was really, really strange. You'd think, looking at it. It
was a dull game. We were never in danger. They were never in danger. And then suddenly they had 10 men, and then we attacked them and we won. And that was it. It was kind of, we scored 2 half-decent goals, Roof and Hernandez with a dipping header. Yeah. And that was the start of our 7-game win streak, the Bristol City win. But
it was.
Which ended at West Brom, unfortunately.
Yeah. And Bristol City game was the first game I covered after relaunching All Things Leeds, funny enough.
Of course it was.
Yeah. And I was saying up until that Hull City loss, ever since I came back with All Things Leeds, we've won every single game. So I'm a good luck charm, really.
That was a drab game, the Hull City at home. Oh, God.
Yeah, don't remind me. But yeah, for me, we're getting them at a perfect time. And the last home game, they lost 1-0 at home to Birmingham. They lost against Gary Monk at home. So.
Yeah, but that's a proper Gary Monk result, isn't it? Kind of stay solid, win it 1-0, win it 2-0 if you can.
Yeah.
Good on set pieces, keep the shape, get away with the victory. That's what Gary does.
Yeah.
We're not that type of team. We kind of say, sod the shape, let's just try and win the game, let's just run at them and see if we can win it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works, like it did on Friday, and sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. It's important that we win this game, though, isn't it? Because it's the first of 3 massive. I mean, every game from now to the end of the season is massive, but it's the first of 3 really important games because we've got Bristol away on Saturday, Reading away on the Tuesday night, and then, of course, it's that big Yorkshire derby, Sheffield United at home, a week on Saturday, and then it's the international break. So it's important that we win here build on from that 4-0 win, that astonishing win against West Brom. Build on from that, take the confidence from that, and go into these next few games, win those, and go into the international break and last, running to the end of the season. With in the best way.
Well, if we win these next 3 games, that leaves us with 8 games left, and we only if we were to win them, we'd only need to win 4 of our last 8 to get automatic promotion, which allows for quite a lot of kind of mess up, shall I say, mess up room. If we only need to win, if we win these next 3 games and we're only got the pressure to win 4 of the last 8, that's not too bad. Because I can see us picking up a win at Ipswich. I can see us. I think we'll probably beat Villa. It depends whether Grealish decides to turn it on again. That pile of hair gel. Despise him.
I might as well talk about the Reading game as well, because
the return of Lewis Baker.
Yeah, because the other week I just didn't think, we need to preview the QPR game in the podcast. I just didn't think about it. But yes, let's look ahead to the Reading game. So Reading, they are in 21st, 4th from bottom, only on goal difference as well. They're not having the best of seasons. They're going to be scrapping for points. Of course, it's away next Tuesday night. Can you see us picking up a win in that game?
Former Leeds players Mo Barrow and Lewis Baker in their team. They've recently signed a good striker, though. They've got Nelson Oliveira. He's quite a good striker.
Oh, he's a class striker.
So they've got a decent forward. So it will depend on stopping him. If we can stop him, we'll stop Reading. They're not that good.
Yeah.
Their whole game plan is literally, it was like us in 2016. It was just, ours is just get the ball to Pablo Hernandez. Theirs is just get the ball to Nelson Oliveira.
Yeah, they're a very inconsistent team at Reading. Of course, they beat Ipswich last Saturday. They got Wigan at home this Saturday, so keep an eye on that. It'll be interesting to see what kind of form they're going into Tuesday's game on. But yeah, if we beat Bristol, beat Reading, and then we're going to the Sheffield United game with all confidence in the world, it puts us in good stead, really.
I think we got quite a long break before the Sheffield United game as well, don't we? Or is it?
No.
Is it 3 games in a week?
Yeah, three games in a week, and then it's the international break.
Is it on the Saturday night or the Friday night, the Sheffield United game?
It's on the Saturday lunchtime.
Saturday.
12:30 kickoff.
Of course it is.
But yeah, so back onto this weekend's game then against Bristol. We're going into back of that 4-0 win over West Brom last Friday. So confidence in the squad must be high at the moment, and it's important to build on from that and build momentum, isn't it?
We need a run before the end of the season. Realistically, we need to win 7 of our last 11. That needs to happen.
Yeah.
I can see 2 games coming up here where we're facing an out of form Bristol City, and let's be honest, even though they've got a couple of good players, a garbage Reading side, because they're down there with Bolton for how bad they are.
Yeah.
Bolton and Rotherham and Reading, they're all kind of the same level of quality. So we need to be turning them over, realistically, to get top 2. And then Sheffield United, just take a point, don't you? Move on.
And the next 3 games, they are winnable. So if we win them,
every game in this league is winnable.
Yeah.
If we turn up.
We just need to get a run going, win these 3 and then go into the international break, come back, and there's not as much pressure as there was if we don't win these.
Unfortunately, now Norwich have got quite a kind fixture list, so we'll just have to hope that somebody turns up when they're not expecting them to.
Yeah. So lineups then. I reckon it'll be unchanged. Do you?
Yeah, it'll be unchanged.
Yeah.
He won't change. You don't change a 4-0 winning team, do you?
I mean, you don't even change a losing side with Bielsa. Of course, we'll also get the QPR and
Jack Clarke will be on the bench. That'll be the difference.
Yeah, Jack Clarke, he should be back for this game.
He'll be on the bench. That'll be it.
Yeah. Do you reckon he'll come off the bench?
John Stevens is on the bench at the moment, and he'll come off.
Yeah, it just depends. See how the game's going. But yeah, definitely going to be unchanged.
Oh, you meant? I thought you meant who was going to replace it.
Yeah, is Jack Clarke going to come off the bench?
Oh, probably not. I don't imagine so.
It just depends how the game's going, doesn't it?
If we need to stretch the wings, possibly, but I doubt it.
Yeah. So score predictions then for both games. So first of all, with the Bristol City game on Saturday, what are you going with?
I'm going with 1-0.
1-0.
I don't think it'll be. I think it'll be. We'll probably keep it tight. We'll score a reasonably early goal, and then we'll just see it out.
Going to go 2-0. 2-0. Same as it was at Elland Road earlier on in the season. I'm going to go 2-0 to Leeds United. Reading, Tuesday.
3-0 Leeds.
3-0 Leeds. Away at Reading.
Yeah. They are bad.
Yeah, they're bad, but it's an away game against Reading, and Mo Barrett always steps up, doesn't he?
I hate Mo Barrett. He was terrible for Leeds.
Last season, he scored against us at Elland Road, celebrated right in front of us. Oh, could have gone on and just...
All he has is pace. He's a B-Tech Hadi Sacco. And Hadi Sacco was properly B-Tech himself.
I did B-Tech. Don't hate, man.
Of course you did.
So I'm going 3-0 against Reading away. I'll go 2-1.
Really? Not as confident?
I reckon
you think Reading will score against us?
I reckon it'll be a hard game. Nelson Oliveira's a good striker. Seems to be scoring all the time. It's going to be a hard game away at Reading.
He's got like that Bane mask at the moment since Tyrone Mings ruined his face, hasn't he? So yeah. Not that I'm taking the nick out of him.
No, it's awful.
Before you all call me horrible or disgusting. I mean, you Leeds fans, so you probably will, but... It was a bad stamp from Mings, but all I'm saying there is he's now got a bit of a Bane mask going on, which Harry Kane had for a bit, which is a bit players don't often have.
2-1, over 2-1 for me. But I do reckon Leeds United can win these next 2 games at least, and we're going to the Sheffield United game in overconfidence in the world.
Nah, I think we'll get a couple of clean sheets next 2 games.
Yeah, fair enough. But that's our score predictions. That's our preview. That brings us to the end of episode 11 of the All Things Leeds podcast. Thank you to Charles, as always, for joining me.
Thanks for having me on.
And we'll be back next week. Thank you to everyone who has listened this week as well and tuned in, downloaded and listened. Really do appreciate it. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. Do it now. Share the podcast around as well. Get it out there. And if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, make sure you do. All Things Leeds on YouTube, All Things Leeds 1 on Twitter, All Things Leeds __ on Instagram, and then the Facebook page as well. Make sure you follow that. Keep up to date with everything for All Things Leeds. Take care, and we'll see you next week.